all of the creator cross stitch. I've worked on 3 separate projects. Like, here's our drive-through, or driveway, not drive-through, senility. It sucks. Needle. It is Thursday, July 16th, 2026. Welcome to my craft room. We are joined today by no one. All of the creatures are asleep. It's hot today. It's a hot, sunny day. Don't get me wrong, Snickers still wants outside, but Mama said no. I put my foot down because he is in the habit of hanging around on the screened-in porch until he gets way overheated and then coming in the house and throwing up. So, Mama said no. Anyway, so here we are. Hot, mid-July, summer day in the deep south. Yes, hot is the key word. But I'm here today with Flosstube number 78. Just a regular progress update, so to speak. I want to start off by saying my face is covered with jelly bean hair. Sorry, he was loving on me. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who has subscribed. My last Flosstube was a whip parade. My 6-month whip parade. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed that. So now you know everything that I'm working on. So today we've got some cross stitch. I don't have any sewing. I have not done any sewing, and not a whole lot of life. It's just hot. But anyway, here we go. So, cross stitch. I have worked on 3 separate projects, and I have fully finished another one. I do actually have some haul today. I know. But anyway, we will start with progress. So, the first project we have is in my little blue and white bag, and it is my small project that I'm doing right now, my red daisy cap by Design Works. This is a kit that my husband got me for Christmas 2 years ago. When you last saw it, it looked like that. I had just filled in the light gray and the white. Since then, I have managed to put in 994 stitches, putting it at 59% complete. And here is what it looks like. I've done the green for the flower. I have done the medium gray. I have begun working on the dark gray, and I've started on the pinks. As you can see, it's kind of patchy with the dark gray. That's because Hecate decided to lay on my pattern, so I was just stitching whatever part I could see. As she shifted, I would, oh, okay, I can see that one. I'll stitch that one. So that's why. But there it is. As I said, this is my small project that I'm working on. Trying to stitch my stash. So that's number one. Now the second project I worked on is in my Dragons and Castles bag. This one is my Dark Elf from Winkin', Blinkin', and Odd. Now, I do not believe this company is still open. I have not been able to find them. All of their social media presence has been deleted and everything, so. But it is a beautiful pattern, and I do like it. Now, this is a huge full coverage piece. When you last saw it, it looked like that. Since then, I have put in, and I'll fold it, I put in 819 stitches. I did achieve my goal and got it to 5% complete. That was the goal I set myself when I pulled it out, that I wanted to get it up to 5%, and I have reached that milestone. And so here it is now. As you can see, I've been filling in the dark burgundy and the dark navy blue. I'm trying to bring it more to the middle so that, you know, when I get tired of darkness, I can stitch something else. But that's where it's at now. Now, I am stitching this on a 16 count, just plain white Aida. I'm using all DMC, all the called for colors. Nothing fancy. I will say I love the color palette. Lots and lots of blues, pinks, and purples. Gorgeous colors. I love them. And I am anxious to get to something besides black, dark burgundy, and dark navy. But I'll get there. Like I said, I'm working on counting my way that way towards the center so I can start stitching other things. But there's that one. And the third one I am working on is in my little Halloween bag. All of these bags were made by me. I make my own project bags. Now this one is a stitch along. It is the Goddess of the Crossroads stitch along by Witch's Garden Crafts. And when you last saw it, it looked like that. Now this one, they released the frame July 3rd so that those of us in the US anyway could use the holiday weekend to stitch the frame. And the frame was, honestly, the frame went by pretty quick and easy because it's very repetitive. It's not overly complicated, and you could just go row by row by row and just get it done. I didn't have any problems with the frame at all. It stitched up fairly quickly. But anyway, after that, every other part is being released on a Friday. Every Friday we get a new part. So we have gotten the frame, we've gotten part 1 and part 2. And I am all caught up. So here it is. Now, part 1 was the name and the little leaves. And part 2, we have half a goddess and part of a sword. So this is where we're at now. I am stitching this on a 14 count Aida. It is an Aida that was dyed by Forbidden Fiber Co. in the color Mothwing. I love this. It's a wonderful neutral. It's kind of a combination of gray, and it has kind of a beigeish, kind of a beige tint to it. So it can be used as either a beige or a gray. But there it is. Now I am using all the called for flosses, DMC colors. I've changed nothing. When they released the frame, they gave you the option of either a gold or a black frame. I chose black just because I didn't think the gold would do well on this one, on this fabric. But they did give you both charts, both options. So, as I said, I'm all caught up. Tomorrow we will get part 3. And I will stitch that one. So those are my projects that I have worked on. Now, as I said, I have also fully finished a project. I framed the Poison Garden. This was the stitch along done by Tiny Modernist that I just finished, like a month ago. I love how it turned out. It looks great. And so I have framed that. Okay, so that's what I have done. Now, as far as plans go, I'm going to continue what I'm doing. Tomorrow I will receive part 3 of the Goddess of the Crossroads. Now these pieces are not difficult to stitch. They are stitching so quickly. Usually it takes me like 2 stitchy sessions to finish the piece that I'm stitching. So it's not been difficult to keep up with it. Tomorrow I will receive the new piece for that, and I will stitch that as soon as I get it. And then after that, I will spin the wheel to see which project I work on next. Now that I have worked on the Dark Elf, I have officially worked on all of my projects this year. So now I can just keep spinning the wheel. Once I finish the Red Daisy Cat, I will replace it with another small kit. My husband will choose it from the Stitchy Cup. But anything else I happen to finish won't be replaced. That being said, I do have projects that I want to start this year, and I will eventually. Now, I managed to finish 2 of my bigger projects, well, not big, but like my medium-sized projects this year. So if I finish another one, then I will start a project. The one that I have closest to being finished is probably the 4 Elements. That one I think is the closest to being finished. So, and then if I do finish the strawberries from the Fruit Garden series from Yasmin's Made with Love, I will start the grapes. But the small project and the Fruit Garden series are kind of separate. So, but my plans are to just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to spin the wheel. Now, haul. I have actually gotten some things. Now, I got the Halloween edition in the mail. These special edition magazines are coming later and later. Honestly, I could have gotten this probably a week sooner just by ordering it online from any stitchy shop. But I did receive this. I did a whole flip through of it. You can find that here if you're interested. I will say there were it was okay. It wasn't anything that was exciting. It was okay. There are like 2 at most 3 projects in here that I will stitch, and 2 of those are small little ornaments. So it really wasn't all that. I looked online. I have 6 issues left of my subscription to this Just Cross Stitch magazine, and I probably will not renew it. Honestly, it's become so few and far between that there are actually patterns I like that there's no point in me continuing the subscription. So I probably won't. I also went on to Tidy Patterns website and I ordered 3 patterns, and I love them. They're adorable. The first one is this one. I think she's adorable. And as much as I love to read and I love books, this was just perfect. I couldn't pass it up. But I think that is so cute. So I got that pattern. The next one I got was a Halloween pattern. A cute little pumpkin. So I got that one. And then the third one I got, I couldn't resist because it reminded me of Luna. I got that one. I have all these cat patterns. Well, I finally found a dog pattern that I like. And trust me, this is what she looks like in my garden. It's a thing. She ate a mimosa tree. But those are the 3 patterns I got. I thought they were cute. And they're not large. They're not large at all. The little pumpkin is only about 4 by 4 inches. So it's small, very small. Then the dog is like 9 1/3 by 11 1/2 inches. Again, not large. And then the little girl with the books is about 13 by 14 inches. Again, not large. They're totally doable in, a fairly short period of time. So I went ahead and got those. I just thought they were too cute. Now, I think that's it for cross stitch. Sewing. Now sewing, I've done none. I keep meaning to sit down and cut fabric, because I still have to cut out the rest of the pieces for my Winnie the Pooh quilt, and B, stitch up the fabric that I've already cut. And I've done neither. We've had things going on, and I've not had the opportunity. Every time I sit down to do this, something comes up and I can't. So I haven't been able to. But I still plan to do it. I still have to finish cutting out the Winnie the Pooh quilt and then get that stitched up. I have another bag kit that I want to stitch up. I have things. I have things that I have to do. I just need the time to do it. I started crocheting a little stuffed cat. I haven't finished that either. So it's been a thing. As far as the crochet goes, my hands have been the issue. The arthritis has been awful. It has been awful because I'm old and broken. Everything else is just life gets in the way. But hopefully that's all settled down now. So, on to life. Life, well, let's see. We're in the deep South, USA, obviously. We're in Alabama. And sweet gums grow here in abundance. I get, back in the day, before, central heat and air and all of that, sweet gums were fast growing shade trees, and so they planted them everywhere. Now the problem when you have a tree that grows quickly, a fast growing tree by nature, but a naturally fast growing tree, that tree is typically very brittle. Sweet gums are brittle trees, and the problem is their branches, once they get to a certain size, get too heavy and they break. We have, here's our driveway. On one side of it, we have 2 mature sweet gum trees. One of them, I would guess, is 60 to 80 feet tall. It's huge. Well, it leans out kind of over our driveway where we park our cars. Huge branches started breaking off of it and nearly took out my husband's truck. That's a bad thing. So, my husband, after chopping up the branches and hauling them to the backyard, he called some tree people, and he called a few companies so that we could get multiple estimates. Because taking out a tree that size, that's leaning towards your garage and house, is pricey. It's very pricey. But we got multiple estimates, and so I have been dealing with tree companies. We finally got it. We finally found the one we want. Now we're on the waiting list to see. We're waiting for them to schedule it. But that kept getting in the way. I would sit down to do something and my husband would say, "Oh, hey, there's a tree guy coming out today." Okay. And so, of course, I would have to go out there and deal with the tree guy and talk to him and show him what needed to be done, etc., etc. So I haven't had time to sew. I haven't had time to do a whole lot of anything, which is why I've only worked on 3 cross-stitch projects. But that's been a big thing. We've also started clearing out some of our summer garden that's done, and we have started seeds for our fall garden. So we've also been doing that. I've also been kind of cleaning up flower beds from the summer, getting them ready for fall, deadheading flowers so that we can have another flush of blooms, that kind of thing. So I've been busy. Other than that, we haven't done a whole lot. Now my husband did take me and my daughter to, I guess it's Fairhope, to the it's an area with a lot of like boutiques and shops and things. We did wander around there one weekend, which was cool. Unfortunately, it was hot, and my daughter's disposition is not the most pleasant when she is hot. So we cut that short. The fun part about autism that people don't understand, or a lot of people don't get, is these people, like my daughter, they have their limits. The thing about autism is it's constant stimulation bombarding your entire system. You have no way to filter it or shut it off, and so it's constant bombardment. And that is why you see them a lot of times meltdown. It's because they don't have the ability to shut it out. Like, you and I could sit down. Well, I can sit down sometimes unless my ADHD kicks in, but I can sit in a crowded restaurant, hold a conversation with my husband, tune out the outside noise, and just focus on him. People with autism can't do that. They hear everything. And so they have limits to how much they can handle before there is a meltdown. And with my daughter, it is, if it's a beautiful day or we're inside or whatever, she can typically handle more. But if we're outside and she's hot or uncomfortable in whatever way, whether cold, hot, whatever, she's limited in how much stimulus she can take in before shutting down and melting down. And so we ended the day early and brought her home. So what we'll do is we'll either wait until the weather is nicer and then all three of us go back, or maybe on a date night, my husband and I will go back. That might be a good way to go do some Christmas shopping for her when she's not with us, something like that. But we had to cut that short because it was hot. It was very hot. Although it did kind of extend her patience a bit when we got ice cream. Funny how that works. But anyway, so we did do that. But that's about all we've done. Now, we have looked into a few things. I know my husband kind of wants to go to the zoo, and I wouldn't mind going to the zoo as well. But we'll wait until it's cooler outside so that all three of us can go. But otherwise, life has just been dealing with life. Anyway, so that's actually all I've got for today. It's a shorter video because I haven't been able to do much, but anyway, that's all I got. But anyway, I hope everyone had a safe July 4th. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend coming up, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.